Yeah, my name is Tim Burley. This is my wife, Michaelia, and we just started going to the church here. We love it, and we're here just to talk about how much the Lord's blessed us and how we learned how to give and our life stories. For me, I grew up in a Christian home. My dad is a pastor, Grace Baptist Church, but I would look at my parents and my mom and my dad, just how much they seen in their life and how they didn't have much. It's been consistently taught about as tithing and giving, and the Lord's going to bless you. But it's easy to hear someone say that, but when they live it, it's completely different by saying they actually have gone through it in their lifetime. My favorite story my dad always told me was him and my mom were struggling financially, and they went to a financial counselor, and they looked over the finances. They're like, "Oh yeah, you got one problem here." And they're like, "Well, what is it?" And they said, "Well, you're giving too much. That's way too much." They said, "At this pace, you're gonna be broke and you're gonna be in poverty." And my mom and dad left that, and they said, "No, we're gonna give more." And they gave more, and then they went back to seeing, like, man, how things have completely changed. Jobs have changed, and for me, it's like, I know I'm gonna have everything I need, because if I take the Lord first, and tithe and give more, I'm always gonna He'll give me exactly what's I need. And I've seen it in my parents' life, and it's changed my life.
I would say I have a similar story. My mom is who I learned from what tithing was, but the first time I can remember an example of it would probably be my grandma. She didn't have much, and we would go to church, and they would pass, when he still had offering baskets, they would pass the offering baskets around, and she would reach in her pocket and she would grab whatever she had and she would put in the basket. And I remember I'd ask her at the end, I was like, "Nanny, isn't that all that you have? Aren't we gonna use that for lunch today?" And she was like, "Oh no, Pooh, don't worry about it." She would call me Pooh. She's like, "Don't worry about it. The Lord will take care of us." And I was like, okay. But sure enough, we always seemed to have money for food. I don't know how. It never made sense to me, but it was something that stuck with me. And I've learned over time that same principle is that, actually, Pastor kind of said something that summed it up a couple of weeks ago, is that the Lord can do more with my 10% than I could ever do with 100%. I think something that he convicted me of a long time ago was that it can feel like it's my money, but God owns all of it. The money that I have, I can sometimes feel myself wanting to feel like, okay, I earned this. And that's not really true. I work, but God just chooses to give us what he gives us when he gives it to us. So I'm happy to give it back to him, because it doesn't feel like it's mine to begin with.
When we were dating, it was that question always going to come up. We're going to have this one early, It was like, what do you believe in tithes and offers? We were already on the same page. The fact that, oh yeah, that ain't ours.
It doesn't belong to us.
We put that aside immediately. It's automatic. We both love to give.
Yeah, I think we probably talked more about where we would give than if we were going to give. And I know one of my favorite verses is Matthew 7:11, when it says, "If ye then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask." And I love that verse, because I've always felt like a daughter to God. I've always felt very taken care of. I've always felt like his little princess, and I know I'm biased, but I feel like I'm his favorite little princess. And so because he's taking care of me, and I watched how parents love their children, it's just something that's always been on my heart, to give as much as I can.
It's amazing. I feel like just last year we were just getting ready to get married, and already like, all right, now we got a little one coming, and seeing what my parents portrayed on me, they taught me, and it's we have a huge responsibility.
And remembering, in terms of measuring what matters, that richness is not necessarily in goods, but I feel already fortunate. We got married, we're having a family, and I mean, not that I would want God to do this, but if he took away everything, I'd still be just as content.